This is this book. Okay, this book. Fluent Forever from Gabriel Weiner. Gosto de neat. É arrumado. It had this neat quality because everything was connected. Period. You memorize that 3 multiplication 4 is 12, and then you learn that 4 multiplication 3 is also 12, and eventually you start realizing that you can switch the order of any two numbers you are multiplying. You see that 3x4 and 4x3 are examples of something much larger, some abstract, floating partner. That partner, partner, okay, uh, partner, partner, bem difícil isso aqui. Partner, partner, pattern, partner, partner. Difícil pra caramba aqui essa pronúncia. Partner, partner, and the other word, partner. Turn, partner, pattern, pattern, partner, partner, and the other word is turn, partner, pattern, pattern, partner, partner, partner. Pronúncia bem difícil aqui. Potter, Potter. Know as multiplication, and every new example helps you hold more of that giant floating pattern in your head, heard, hurt, head, my head. That part changes and becomes more subtle. What this means, subtle. Subtle. Outra pronúncia aqui que sutil, né? Subtle, subtle. And nuanced, unseat, nuanced, 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 nuanced. Matizado. Nossa, eu quero isso. I'm starting this book now, Fluent Forever, from Gabriel Weiner. Okay, this book. Matza. With every little fact you learn, soon you begin to see the connections between multiplication and division, and multiplication and exponents, exponents, and multiplication and fractions, period. Eventually, your giant floating partner of multiplication becomes part of a bigger floating partner pattern, a universe of math, period, a universe of math. As long as I could connector, as long as I could connect every new thing, period, I learned it to this universe. I have an easy time with math, and I noticed that classmates who had problems with math weren't struggling with math. struggle, struggling. They were struggling, period. Um, they were struggle, period. They were struggling with connections. They were trying to memorize equations, but no one has successful shown then who those equations connect with everything they had already learned. They were dominant, doomed, doomed. At some point along their path, their interconnected math universe had shattered, shattered, shattered. This is not the word. Shatter, shattered. Then, how those equations connect with everything they had already learned. They were doomed at some point along their path. Their interconnected math universe has had shattered into fragments, and they were trying to learn each piece in isolation, an extremely difficult pro- proposition. Who could possibly remember the formula for the volume of a hexagonal prism? How could you make yourself care enough to actually remember? It was so much easier if you could see how all the pieces interrelated, how multiplication connected with the area of rectangles, how the area of rectangles connected with triangles, triangles, act, and tra- trapezius, trapezius, period, tra- trapezoids, trapezoids, okay, and how the volume of prisms connected back with multiplication. Okay. I didn't have to memorize formulate, formula, formula. Um, they were just examples of something much, much larger. Math can be hard for the same reason that language can be hard. At some point, you miss a connection, and if no one goes back, takes you by the hand, and shows you that connection, then you are suddenly doomed to memorize crappy formula. Formulate. This is the plural of formulate. Is the plural of formula. We know why this is so. We've already discussed the nature of memory. Every time we can connect two memories, we strengthen, 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 strength, strengthen, 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 fortalece, strengthen. Coloca aqui, fortalece, strengthen. Um, both of them, neurons, neurons. Deve ser assim que se pronuncia. Neurons. Okay. Neurons that fire together, wire together. If you learn that the E in French Mother sounds like a you've built one connection. If you then learn that the A in lay milk is also pronounced uh, you've built you've built built three connections. A connections with lay. A connects with mare, mare, mare. And lay connects with mare. These three connections are much easier to remember than your original. Buy 8 more pieces to learn. You're making your job much easier. You you are learning faster, which means less work over time. Naturally, there are limits. There's there is an there is an there is an art to building memories. It takes balance. It takes balance. It takes balance. You could you could spend days learning trivial about it, and it won't necessarily help you learn French. On the other hand, if you have skip it, skip, skip it, skip it, skipped, skipped. You could spend days learning trivial about it, and it won't necessarily help you learn French. On the other hand, if you skip it and simple, simply, simply told you to learn about a bunch of French words, you'd be back in math class memorizing formula for formulae for period formulae formulae. How can you determine where more is less and where more is just more? period. The key is relevance, period. If you see something as useful, then it's period. If you see something as useful, 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 then it's worth learning. If not, then not. In Appendix 4, I give you a decoder for the entire IPA. But if your favorite textbook or dictionary doesn't use IPA symbols, they don't memorize IPA symbols. Just use them for a reference. Period. If you know how to pronounce E already, and you do, then you don't need to worry about the location of your tongue. On the other hand, if a sound seems foreign and difficult, then go nuts. How she looks when she's waiting for you. Then go nuts. Okay. Learn everything. Learn its spellings, its behavior in your mouth, its relationship to the other sounds you already know. See how your textbook or dictionary notated. See how your textbook or dictionary notated. Notate. Notates. notates it. Find some example words. Do whatever you can. Do whatever you can. The more you do, the less work it will be. It's magic. Key points. Period. Every language contains a pattern of connections between its spelling and its sounds. Sounds, sound, sounds, song. Okay, this is the book. If you can internalize that pattern and make it automatic, you've saved yourself a great deal of work. Period. The easiest way to internalize those partners is to use your SRS. Period. Create flashcards to memorize every spelling pattern you need. In the process, period. In the process, approach foreign sounds. Foreign, foreign, foreign. In the process, approach foreign sounds. Foreign sounds. O processo de abordagem. In the process, sons estranhos. And complex partners, partners from as many angles as you can, from their spellings to their sound, even down to the individual mouth positions used for each sound. You are taking advantage of one of the strange quirks Work, work, peculiar. Of learning. The more bits and pieces you learn, the less work it takes to learn them. Do this now. Learn your language's sound system. It doesn't necessarily take much time to learn a language's sound system. If you are learning a language like Spanish, you can listen to a few recordings, look at a few examples, words of each spelling in your language, and move on to vocabulary. If you are learning Arabic, you have a bit more work to do, but work is too strong. But work is too strong a word. I find that working with sound is deeply satisfying and fun, and I don't believe that just because I'm a singer. I think it's the other way around. Sound is the way we connect our throat to our bodies. I think it's. um I don't believe that just because I'm a singer. I think it it's the other way around. Sound is the way we connect our throats. Throat, thought, thoughts, 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 thoughts. To our We see an eagle in the sky. We turn to we see an eagle in the sky. We turn to a companion. Companion, and our tongue flies up, and our tongue flies up and forward. We see an eagle in the sky. We turn to a companion, and our tongue flies up. Tongue, 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 flies up, flies up, and our tongue flies up, flies up and forward, and forward, forward, forward. Our lips fly open and our vocal cords engage. Ego. To paraphrase Rousseau, uh, paraphrase. When we learn an accent, we are taking on the soul of that language. This isn't work, it's communion. Let's get communion. 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 Let's get communion. In the back of this book, you find the gallery. There, there you learn how to make pronunciation flashcards, but the extent to which you use them, or whether you use them at all, depends upon depends upon depends upon Upon. Which path you choose. There are two basic paths through pronunciation. Through, 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 through. The standard route and the off-road route. The standard route uses pub- published resources, either a grammar book with a CD or a special book CD combo dedicated exclusively to pronunciation. If your grammar book comes with recordings, it likely contains a series of pronunciation lessons. Scattered, scat, scattered, 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 scattered. Ignore all vocabulary. Ignore all the vocabulary and grammar in your book and jump to each pronunciation section. There, listen to the mimic and the recordings, and then move on to the next pronunciation lesson until you are done. If your grammar book is text only, then consider buy a dedicated pronunciation book with CD and working through it from cover to cover. If you need help remembering a given sound or spelling, then you can pick and choose which whichever which whichever which whichever, qualquer, né? Flashcards you need from the gallery. The off-road route takes the tools we've found. The off-road takes the tools we've found. Minimal pair tests for ear training. The EIPA for mouth instructions. And our SRS for getting it all into our heads. Head, 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 head. And builds a pronunciation trainer out of them. These trainers tests your your ear until you can hear your new language sounds. Connect those sounds to the spelling partners in your language and dump that information into your head through your SRS. I've tried to make your job easier by doing as much as the grunt work. Trabalho pesado, né? As possible. I'm creating trainers as fast I can in as many languages as I can. If I've done one of your languages, then grab it. Then grab it. These trainers are cheaper than a pronunciation guidebook and they should do a much better and faster job than the standard route. If you use these, you won't need to make any flashcards now. Just download them, install them, and within a few weeks you have pronunciation mastered. Within a few days, a few weeks, You have pronunciation mastered. If I haven't done your language, or if you are prefer to do things yourself, then jump to the first gallery. There I show you how to make your own pronunciation trainer in a few hours. You, 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 you use a combination of research, resources, a quick tour, a quick tour of the pronunciation to shed, a quick tour of the pronunciation to shed, tour of the pronunciation to shed. Galpão de ferramentas. Links. Fluent slash fluent slash quick off. Pronunciation resources are a mixed bag. Some textbooks begin with a detailed. Some textbooks begin with a detailed chapter devoted to the alphabet, spelling, and sounds, with CDs brimming, 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 transbordando. with individual phonemes, minimal pairs, example words, and example sentences. Other textbooks Other textbooks give you a passing overview. Some French vowels are nasal, and move on. Here's what's at your fingertips. Here's what's at your here's what is at your fingertips. Free resources essential to forvo.com. Free recordings of words. Podemos.